Hey, welcome back to Command Block Survival. So, do you know about like ender porters and like the easy way, whoops, too many F5s. The easy way you can do like the chunk loading. I actually have lodestones that mark where I keep the chunk loaders. The only problem is you notice how there's no ender pearl there? Yeah, so it's not chunk loading anything because no ender pearl equals no chunk loader. So, this is the kelp farm. It's for farming like dried kelp. And I really want this stuff because it's just such good fuel, like for furnaces and stuff. Like you can cook 20 items, I think. 20. So that's more than double like coal. So we need a farm that's running. Oh, I'm not very good at taking the corners. I really do love glide hopping though. It doesn't cost any doesn't cost any fireworks and it's super fast. There we go. So anyways, if we want a farm that's running all the time, we should probably build something right next to spawn chunks. And this is the spawn location. So the spawn chunks is 2x2, or actually it's 3x3 around this chunk we're in. And look at the area that we've been working on. Oh, it's in the spawn chunks. So I was thinking about maybe including some like smaller farms here. And the first one I want to do is like a little kelp farm, just so we can constantly be acquiring this stuff. Little fun fact about kelp. When you plant a piece of kelp, it gets a random age, like the game gives it one. So see how it says age 17. I just placed it and it says age 17. What that does is it actually limits how tall it can grow. So it'll go 18, 19, 20, 23, 24. So that piece of kelp can only actually ever grow up this high, which in our case doesn't matter at all, but it's just an interesting little fact. So if you want tall kelp, you actually have to like place and replace until you get like, the right age. Oh, 14, nah. 21. Oh, wow, that only can grow 3. There we go, 0. That'll go to the max height. Funny little thing. Oh, wait, the piston destroys water source blocks? Hang on, let me see that again. Oh. So we just have to make sure there's a water source above the piston. Okay. I feel like every episode I store more of my commonly used items in a bundle. It just gets more and more full. Oh, I need cobblestone. So we can make a furnace, because that's where we're going to pipe the kelp. It'll just go straight in here. Let's pull out the redstone tool bag. And then we'll put that into a crafter. Oh wait, no, we should take advantage of it going up. Crafters can point up, and that is a marvelous thing. Because normally you would need a dispenser, and then you have to give it another, like a special signal. But this is like, if it crafts it, boop, comes out the top. Very nice, very nice. I forgot, the hopper needs to point into the top of the furnace. Okay. Revising. So all that's left is we need to compare a signal for this comparator. And usually the way I do it is I use a lectern and a comparator. Wait, do I have a book? I'll just use one of these, I guess. Normally I use these for skulk sensors. So we'll just turn this to 9. Pull a signal out of that. So this is off unless it is full, I believe. Or wait, is this supposed to be 8? Yeah. Ow. Man, tridents hurt. What's interesting to me though is you can use a lot of different stuff. Instead of a lectern, we could use anything that gets a comparator signal. So like we could even use a dispenser. And so I'm curious, what do you use? Like if you're trying to get like a quick signal, do you use like a dispenser? Do you use, a lectern? Do you use like a chest, a hopper? What else is there actually? Oh, sorry. I just realized I skimmed past what's happening with the comparator really fast. Basically, all that's happening is when the light's on, it's in subtract mode. So it says signal strength A minus signal strength B. Whatever that equals is what it pops out. This has a signal strength of 9, so then it just subtracts whatever we put over here. And so we want 8. And when we're using like these things, we have to put like a lot of items, like either we need unstackables or just a ton of stuff. which is the main reason I don't use them. I use the lectern because it is so precise. Do I want to signal 1, 2, 3, 4? Like it's very, very direct, very straightforward. And I looked up the other options here, and there's actually some interesting ones. So a jukebox, and here I'll pull this strength, the signal strength out the other side. This is 9. Different music discs give different signal strength. So this is 2. And that gives which one is that? Cat. So that's kind of funny. Each one is different. I don't have the disc for 8 though. But what is really interesting to me, I did not know or think about this. I thought you could only put 1 item in here, which of course would make it useless for comparator strength stuff, but you can put multiple items in. It's kind of hard to keep track of how many you've put in. I believe we need somewhere around 37. Yeah, there we go. So we're at 8 now. So this will work. And this is actually not a terrible block. Like we would only have to store 1 thing in our redstone shulker box. Like right now I have lectern, 15 power, the book and quill. Like that's 4 spots total. We would just have to put like the pots. I wonder if you can F3 and see like how many items are in it. Ugh, you can't. So there's no easy way to know how many items you put in there. Well, just because it's new, we'll do it here. That's kind of cool. I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, okay, so one of these cooks 20. And if we have it break down there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kelp. So it'll put 5 kelp in here, which of course will use up the kelp block. And who knows how long it'll take to grow another 5. Meanwhile, this will just keep going down, right? So if we want each dried kelp to be as efficient as possible, which of course we do, then we should probably be cooking about 20 kelp. So really we should move this location down further. So 13 is the best we can do. 13 would be enough to make at least 1 dried kelp block though. So we'd only be wasting 7 cook time. We'd be going positive 4 kelp. That's fine. I can live with that. This isn't like a super efficient farm. It's just a always on kind of farm. Oh, I almost forgot. We better check if it's age 3. Oh, wait a second. Actually, age 2 or 3 is fine because it's 24 minus 13. I think 24 is the max number. So, okay. I've been cooking some basalt. Oh, see, this is why we need the dried kelp blocks. I just keep running out of like coal and I don't want to go mine it constantly. It'd be nice to just have a passive source of fuel that I don't really have to worry about. So this area is patched all up and this thing should be running. So we should come back here later. It takes quite a while for the kelp to grow. We should come back here later and see how many more dried kelp blocks we have. In fact, oh wait, no, I should leave some in there because it does need to cook. Okay, so 3, we'll have to remember that. So I made a couple other farms here too. We got a little bamboo farm, collecting bamboo, because I really like the color of bamboo wood. And then we have over here a cactus farm, and I'm actually hoping that it will be able to give us cactus as well, because there's a 10% chance. Did I just say cactus twice? I'm sorry. Cactus and a cactus flower. So there's a chance for a cactus flower to grow here, as well as just like regular cactus. I've been kind of curious about how... Yeah, okay, that one did get destroyed. Sometimes it looks like it gets destroyed and it actually gets picked up. Ooh, 2 destroys. Actually, that's the most I've seen so far. Usually, yeah, there, okay. Yeah, it's fine if a few of them get destroyed. This isn't supposed to be super efficient. This is just supposed to be on. Anyway, so mostly we'll get cactus. Sometimes we'll get cactus flowers, which will be nice. And that'll just be a replacement for what I've had over here. Just these bamboo growing at spawn, and then also these cactus growing at spawn. So we can finally tear these down, get a few cactus flowers as well. Green dye is one of those things that's kind of hard to get on demand. Most of the other dyes you can just sort of get when you want to, just by bone mealing, but not cactus. So it's a good idea to have at least some farm. Get rid of this bamboo too. Because it does look a little bit out of place, doesn't it? It's probably better to put it inside the tunnels that we're making. So before we're done with this section, there's one kind of interesting thing I want to test. Right now, we can only hold up to 5 stacks of the dried kelp, right? We probably want to store more. So I'm curious, this thing fires upward. If it's full, where does it fire to? Oh wait, we need something that can actually be crafted into a 9x9. Oh yeah, you can see it. Because the basic idea is we could have one hopper that goes directly into the system and fills it up with the dried kelp, and then another one that collects it for us to use later. So where exactly? It spits out this way. So then my basic question is, if we put a hopper right here, will we just pick that up? Let's try. Oh, not quite. So we would want it down here, I guess. So you can actually control it. It just pops out to the most open spot. This is obviously janky. Like it's nearly a glitch. But look at that. It works really well, really consistently. And we can basically say, if that hopper's full, send it over here. But through in-game physical logic instead of redstone logic, which is kind of cool. I really enjoy using things for their unintended purposes. I don't know. I feel like it's the essence of creativity, sort of. Anyway, okay, so that works, and all of them work. I've seen that one work and this one work, I think. Oh yeah, we're getting more bamboo. Very good, very good. Oh, it just worked again. So last episode, we made the Goo Bomb, which takes 8 slime blocks, and is basically just like a faster way of placing blocks. But obviously 8 slime blocks for all these ones, you know, you're getting more back than you spent. So I was asking for help about, you know, balancing and stuff. And Twaj suggested maybe we try an oozing potion. Where's my slime blocks? Because oozing potions naturally give you more slime, right? Because then, you know, they spawn slimes and whatever. I have to get more slime blocks. I like that idea a lot though. So I wanted to just see like, okay, can we add this to a crafting recipe? Which works. So it's like, okay, that's an interesting trade-off. But then I realized, yeah, the way that crafting recipes work, you can't put NBT in the requirements, only in the output. So any kind of potion will work. It doesn't care. So we could use instant health. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm not totally sure how to add oozing into the mix, because we can't create a custom recipe for the brewing stand either. If there was some way that we could use the in-world effect to track it. Because you can track when recipes are crafted. So if we test for me crafting the recipe, but we also test whether or not I have oozing. Oh, gotta do this fast. Although, wait a second. Then we won't be able to upgrade goo bombs that we've already made. And it would be kind of nice to be able to do that. Okay, I have an idea. I've set it up here, so we'll drink oozing, and then over time, it's going to change. Oh, every 5 seconds, actually. Yeah, but we have a full inventory, so here, let's do this. Yeah, so it transforms one of the Goo Bomb ones into, I forgot to change the name, but that should be Goo Bomb II. You'll notice it's not stacking anyway, so. I like how there's like a sound effect. That's kind of nice. And the cool thing is that lets us distinguish between 1 and 2, like the different sizes. So 1 could be smaller for more detail work, and 2 could be larger. I kind of like that. I changed it to 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds it does something. And I think that's a lot better. So everything should work now. So we can have Goo Bomb 2 be bigger. The other thing I'm really liking about this trade-off is we have to exchange time for making these things. And what we're saving by placing these is time. So we're trading off time in different ways. So I'm actually really happy with that trade-off. We could, I don't know if Oozing 2 exists, like default in game, but if it does, oh hey, this is almost grown. If it does, we could upgrade Goo Bomb 2 to 3 or something in the future. What? Why didn't it trigger? Is it slow to update or something? Why aren't you shooting me? I'm so confused. What's going on? Oh, some of the redstone is gone. Some water must have washed in here when I was closing it off. Very, very glad I waited though. Definitely worth it. Can you imagine? It would be like 3 episodes later. I'd be like, man, this thing is really slow. And then like 4 more episodes later, I'm like, wait a second, it's broken. There we go. Oh, fun little side note. If we freeze that hopper underneath so that the item actually shows up in here, it's storing all the XP of everything that it has smelted. So let's see, we're at 5 levels. So we get, you know, not a whole lot of XP, but some. And obviously if it has been going for like a long time, then we'll get even more. But yeah, it's all out now. And we got 4 in addition. Okay, that's exactly what we expected. Very good, very good. Oh, interesting little side note. So you know how we have the fill thing and it replaces like areas? So it has the swap mode. So I added this off camera and the hotkey that I'm using is sneak and sprint. And it's actually really easy to press both of those for me because I have my sprint on R. Might be kind of annoying if it was on control. It's actually kind of an interesting question. Like, some people just go with default controls. Some people, you know, change them up more. I've only really changed my sprint button and then I just have a bunch of stuff on my mouse, like all the hotbar stuff. Yeah, even my swap item is offhand, but I'm curious what you have because I've seen some pretty interesting configurations that people have, and sometimes it's just kind of interesting to hear about that. I'm liking actually having the smaller size. Like, sometimes I do want the bigger one. But having the option is really nice. Oh, that was a bigger one. So it's not perfect. There is a little bit of randomness, which keeps things spicy. But mostly it's the little stuff. Oh man, how to smooth basalt. Usually I'm so laser focused on a project that you don't really get to see like that much of the world here. So I kind of wanted to show you some things. No, go the other way. So I thought I'd show you where I go to get basalt. It's actually on the way to the coral place. That's why there's a coral fan there. That's I really like just having the blocks. A lot easier to read than a sign. Anyway, you can put moss on lava. So I just have this long like moss runway and it just goes to this basalt area. The coral reef is like straight that way. I haven't made the moss runway the whole way because man, that thing is like, it takes a lot to make it. So then I just pin in Buddy here so he doesn't wander off. I really need to figure out how to heal him up. I haven't figured it out. He's very, very low because we've fallen off of a couple of cliffs together. But anyway, I just have a beacon here with haste, and then in basalt deltas, you know, basalt is just everywhere. You can insta mine it, so I just mine it up, toss it in the top here, and I have buckets of lava to cook it while I'm mining. So it's a all right little setup. There's also an underground area here at the perfect netherite mining level, Y15, but I get more of these little magma cubes spawning. I'm not totally sure why. Regular slimes, like in slime chunks, only spawn below Y40, so maybe there's something similar going on, but not totally sure. Anyway, every so often I find a little bit of netherite and then I mark it with a black stone brick. Because you're limited how much netherite can be in a single chunk. So there's no point in mining this chunk for any more netherite once I found that. It'll be really nice when we get more dried kelp fuel, because man, we're gonna burn through what we have. Right. Wow. But hey, look on the bright side. The only redstone it blew up was this piston. The whole pot thing is safe. That would have been annoying to redo. The comparator system is all good. We need one more hopper actually, I think. All right, so this little cave area is quite nice, but for the next part, I want to work on the top here. It's a little rough up here, and we need something to spruce it up, and not just moss either. Something that will actually improve the look. We need a shrubbery. So I don't actually want to just use these shrubberies. They're good for being like not too obvious, but I want to make like a special, here, let me just show you something. So over here is some custom trees I made. I used structure blocks to make these. So you'll notice they all look identical, but just rotated a little bit. And honestly, they look kind of ugly. But there is a feature, the same feature that grows jungle trees, spruce trees, acacia trees, all of the trees, it's just a tree feature. And so I think I want to use it to try and make a shrubbery for our mountain. So within a tree config feature file, we have a lot of options. Ignore vines, force dirt, dirt provider, root placer, trunk placer, like there's so much stuff. We're probably gonna focus on the trunk and the foliage, both the block and the placer. So what we need to do is decide what blocks do we want to use. Now I'm leaning towards some of these things. The flowering azalea leaves, because they're the green and the purple that match with the other ones. So I'm really trying to get creative here. So we could do something like, you know, a little fence post for the branches. Although this might look too similar to that. I suppose we could make more than one shrubbery if we really needed to. So I'm fiddling with some different colors here. I really like these glowberries hanging underneath. I don't really like the moss so much. And I've tried a couple of fence posts and they tend to look a little strange. I've been trying to figure out some sort of colorful thing. So I've been trying with blue. I tried hanging moss too, but eh. The blue and purple though with this is not too bad. And these blocks all look natural, unlike these ones. I was experimenting with like trap doors and like different ways to get like lots of colors involved, and none of them were working that well, which is fine. That's what experimentation is for. Interestingly, and we might even just go ahead with this, but you can't place glowberries underneath these leaves. But the way that the tree feature generates, we could probably make this happen under here, which I think would look really cool. Okay, so I made just a basic feature here called the shrubbery and we'll just generate it. That is funky. Well, this isn't what I expected was going to happen. Weird. Hey, these are the wrong leaves too. Also, why in the world are the leaves down? Okay, I think I maybe need to work on the trunk placer. Okay, now it's placing a straight tree, but it's not. Why is the width? There's no width to it. That's really weird. Also, I don't know why, but sometimes it places like a quote unquote dirt block underneath it. I changed it to moss. Oh, maybe it's every time. I don't really know how to turn that off. Anyways, I feel like this is a good... The other thing too... Sorry, I'm stopping and starting my sentences. The other thing too is I really like the stripped log inside. I don't know if it's possible to do that, but it would look really cool if it did. Oh. Okay, so I had to increase the radius of the foliage. Now we got to figure out how to get it down a little bit. Oh. Okay, this is kind of what I was thinking. What do you think of this, like as a shrub? Ignoring the moss block. Like that doesn't look too bad. It's kind of interesting. I do wonder if we maybe shouldn't have every block be the flowering azalea leaves, because just like the regular tree, only some of the leaves are flowering, so we might mimic that. I'm not sure exactly how this happened, but this is actually kind of cool. Well, that one actually looks like a mini tree. Most of the other ones sort of look like these tall cylinders. Yeah, like this. Like that's kind of a weird shape, but I'm kind of okay with it. Wait a second. This is always a moss block. I want all the other blocks to be the stripped warped logs, but this one to be different. So what if we just, instead of a moss block, yeah. Technically, this is the dirt. But for our purposes, it's part of the tree. Kind of janky. That is really tall, actually. The more I look at this shrub, the more I like it. It looks a little bit exotic, but it also looks natural. Like even here, you kind of already believe that this could grow that. the colors are similar enough. And there's a certain amount of logic in the stripped planks being inside the leaves. And then these look very easily like they could grow out of the flowering azalea leaves. You'll notice not all of them are flowering. We got some regular ones mixed in. Overall, it's quite nice. We could maybe mix in glowberries into the thing so that it actually has a little bit of light. Oh, I'm surprised actually. I don't like the glowberries very much. The yellowy orange, I don't really like that color of orange with this. It messes with our green, purple, blue triangle we have going on. Yeah. It does kind of feel like it's missing something, but maybe it should always sort of feel like that since it's going to be in the middle of stuff. It shouldn't have everything it needs all by itself visually. So this might be okay. Okay, so we have a good shrubbery. Now we get to the fun part, the actual function of it. We're going to make this appear in the world somehow through functions. I'm not totally sure yet. So that, you know, we don't have to place every single block because that's the whole point of making it a feature, right? We don't want to place each little individual azalea bush. We want to maybe grow something into this. And that way we can actually have a trade-off sort of built in. So I was thinking maybe like a warped fungus on top of moss that we then grow using glowberries. It does work. I put an advancement. Oh, but the location it places is where we are. That's a problem. How are we going to figure out where the warped fungus is? Ugh. I think the only way to do it is I have to use my raycasting technology. I've reused this so many times. I use it in Command Block Survival and a ton of other stuff. Actually, the block swapper uses it too. But basically, it just periodically checks if the block we're looking at is the block we're trying to find. And then it just runs whatever the command is. So let's see if it works. It should set the azalea leaves right on top of the warped fungus. But we have to be really close. Like, as close as you can be. Because this is testing, so it only works at the distance that I showed you. 0.31. So we need to be 0.31 away from it. Which is apparently really challenging. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it does work then. I just have to add in all the other distances, of course. That's not that many warped funguses. We may have to grow a few more of these, but this is kind of what we wanted, right? Like, this is a sort of rare item, and we're making sort of a rare bush. Now, just as a quick test, let's make sure it doesn't grow. Wait, does this only work if I'm a little bit hungry so that I can actually use the grow berries? Wait, let's just break this down. Because it shouldn't work on the dirt, and it should work on the moss. Oh, yeah, I think I do have to be hungry. It's a little silly. Getting my laps in. Finally. I must have eaten some superfood or something. Okay, so it doesn't work on the dirt. It does work, and notice the glowberry's gone. It does work on the moss. Okay, that is what we want. Look at that. Very viney, very like full. Yeah, I like this. This is pretty cool. You know, alternatively, we could maybe have like a flowering azalea bush that we could use. Oh, you can't really use it. Yeah, we'll just stick with glowberries. It's fine. We get the glowberry vines. We need a few more glowberries though if the glowberries are gonna get used up. There was one glowberry in there? That's actually crazy. Oh, good. There's some glowberries in here. I was thinking we might have to, well, we might have to anyway, just farm some glowberries. But that's a good sign because rather than just making the game easier, it's causing us to think about interacting with the world more, which is what we want to encourage. You know, I was thinking about it and I was like, I feel like maybe we should actually have a chance associated with clicking the glowberry onto the fungus, kind of like bone meal, so it doesn't work every time. All right, I did a rough calculation similar to trees, so there's about a 20% chance for it to work. Why do you think it worked on it the first try? Weird. I want to see it fail at least once just to be sure. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we should maybe put a sound because otherwise I don't realize that it's doing anything. I'm running out of space to test this. There. Oh, I was worried about this. I thought if they grow, it might update this block and then break it because it can't technically connect to the leaves, but it's actually growing. And not only is it growing, sometimes it has berries, which kind of don't want the berries, but mostly it's not going to be growing berries. So it should be fine mostly. We need some more space to plant our newly created, that I don't really know what the name would be. Warped azalea, I guess. But we need more space to plant it, so let's use our new Goo Bomb IIs and get a little bit. Oh, come on, I fell off. Get a bit more space. Ooh. About 3 to cross that gap. Not bad. Pretty nice area it just made. I like it. I don't know if we're gonna have enough blocks for this, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, wow. Come on, try it. Got him. Hey, the aim training's paying off. That's good to know. There's a little grow sound now too. So it's like fail, fail, fail. And then that grow sound. Oh, these are cool. I really like being able to just grow these custom features. I honestly think I would do this again. Like, it wasn't that terrible to set up. It's kind of hard to work with the trunk placing and all that, but it's interesting. And there's definitely some room for creativity. Like, we have 2 different blocks in the trunk, so it's pretty cool. I like it. Look at how nice they look from far away. Well, actually, I kind of want to trim this one a little bit. Oh, maybe it's just because there's 2 next to each other. Oh, yeah, it's because there's 2. It looks like one big giant block. Yeah, they look a lot nicer from over here. Oh, man. Those are some excellent, excellent shrubberies. We even have the 2-level effect going. With kind of a path down the middle, I guess you could call this. But yeah, overall, very, very happy with the shrubberies. So far, it seems like the quickest way to lose hunger is jump off and run back. Wow, first try again. Very nice, very nice. And before we end the episode, I just want to check how we're doing with the... Oh, we got 4 dried kelp and 1. So it takes its sweet time. I did add a bone mealer down here. There's a... Oh yeah, there's a dispenser with a little bit of bone meal, not very much. It's just a observer clock. I just pushed the observer in. So we can speed it up if we need to. Ooh, it's almost at the top. Only took about 6 minutes for it to grow. There it goes. Man, that actually floats up really fast, even without like a bubble column or anything. It's pretty cool. But yeah, there you have it. That's about all for our episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the more slow-paced, like, explore around the world. You know, usually I'm so hyper-focused you don't get to see as much of it, but we looked at a few different areas today, so let me know if you liked that. Got some functional farms down that I've been meaning to do for a while. That kelp is really slow, but having it in the spawn chunks is perfect. And also that Goo Bomb oozing thing is really cool. So anyways, that'll do it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later, later.